Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Before we speak about the heat impacting our city, I want to take a moment to update New Yorkers on another type of summer weather. A storm will move into New York City today. Heavy downpours will likely continue into the night. We may see severe thunderstorms and wind gusts reaching up to 50 miles per hour. We have been preparing for this storm since Thursday. Agencies have cleared catch basins across the 5 boroughs and performed targeted inspections of flood-prone neighborhoods. The Down Tree Task Force is on alert and ready to respond to fallen trees and clogged basins, while the Tow Truck Task Force is prepared to support stranded vehicles. NYSEM has issued a travel advisory. And with the Norway-Senegal kicking off this evening at New York-New Jersey Stadium, we have also issued a gridlock alert. We are encouraging New Yorkers to budget extra time for your commutes tonight. Exercise caution when you travel. Take public transit whenever you can. Do not bike or drive through floodwaters. And if conditions are severe, seek shelter indoors before traveling. To stay up to date on live conditions, please sign up for Notify NYC by texting Notify NYC to 692-692. Now let's turn to what brings us to the rotunda this morning: extreme heat. I want to acknowledge a number of leaders from across our agencies as well as administrations, but before that, I want to acknowledge our Attorney General, Tish James, for her leadership on this issue. The Temp Coalition and the New York Community for Occupational Safety and Health, NYCOSH, for their advocacy. I want to thank John Mosquera, a ramp agent at LaGuardia Airport working in the heat, for sharing his story with us. And I want to thank all of the union's workers and advocates that are here. And alongside them, members of my administration, including Deputy Mayors Julie Su, Helen Arteaga, Julia Kersen, our NYSEM Commissioner Christina Farrell, Chief Counsel Ramzi Qasim, DOHMH Commissioner Dr. Alistair Martin, DOB Commissioner Ahmed Tigani, DCAS Commissioner Yume Kitase, and MOCEJ Commissioner Louise Young. Now, while it may be cool today, we have already had a number of sweltering days this month. And with summer in full swing, we know temperatures will only continue to rise. New Yorkers know that extreme heat can turn deadly and fast. Every year, more than 500 people in our city lose their lives due to the heat. And as climate change accelerates, summers are only growing hotter and more dangerous. Last year, we witnessed the hottest day in New York City in over a decade. On June 24th, temperatures reached 99 degrees in Central Park and 102 degrees at JFK. We've already weathered 2 extreme heat emergencies this spring. That's why we're here together today, to keep New Yorkers safe and to help our neighbors prepare for high temperatures. First, air conditioning is one of the best ways to keep cool. New Yorkers should seek cool spaces throughout the summer, like an air-conditioned home or of a family or a friend, or even of your local library. And during a heat emergency, defined by a heat index of 95 degrees or higher for at least 2 consecutive days, or a single day at 100 degrees or higher at any point, we will activate our comprehensive network of free cooling centers across the 5 boroughs at public hospitals, libraries, senior centers, and other public locations. You can find a cooling center near you, including pet-friendly locations, by visiting the city's Cool Options map, accessible at nyc.gov/beattheheat, or by calling 311. And now, for the first time in city history, more than 2,200 Link NYC kiosks will display directions to the nearest NYC cooling center within a 10-minute walk. We will also issue targeted alerts through our city's advanced warning system to protect our most vulnerable neighbors, like older New Yorkers and those with chronic illnesses. When an extreme heat emergency is declared, we will issue a code red alert, directing DHS to intensify outreach operations, distribute water and other essential supplies, and direct homeless New Yorkers to cool, safe indoor spaces. I ask that those New Yorkers look after those who may be vulnerable. Help your auntie install her AC. Help your older neighbor find a cooling center. And if you see someone struggling, please call 311 immediately so that outreach workers can assist. For New Yorkers looking for other ways to stay cool, our Parks Department offers hundreds of spray showers, sprinklers, and drinking fountains across the 5 boroughs. They also make it possible for New Yorkers to enjoy a summer of sand and fun across our 14 miles of public beaches, open daily with lifeguards on duty from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. And if sand isn't really your thing, our free public pools will open for the season come June 27th. And for those who want to keep cool with a fire hydrant, anyone 18 or older can obtain a free city-approved fire hydrant spray cap from their local firehouse. If you're cooling down with a hydrant, do the right thing. Use a spray cap. It allows hydrants to be opened safely and prevents the flow from compromising our firefighting operations. Just like with today's storm, you can stay up to date on live heat conditions across our city by signing up for Notify NYC. Once again, you can do so by texting Notify NYC to 692-692, or you can visit nyc.gov/beattheheat to register. While we protect all New Yorkers this summer, we want to also focus on a critical segment that is not only impacted by the heat, but essential to keeping our city running: workers. More than 1.4 million New Yorkers, a third of our city's workforce, work outside for extended periods of time. Without paid breaks or easy access to restrooms, these workers have a higher risk of heat exhaustion, heat stroke, dehydration, and serious diseases like liver failure and kidney disease. For too long, working New Yorkers have been overlooked when it comes to heat protections. Legislation and other efforts that would create an enforceable workplace heat standard on both the state and federal levels have been stalled for years. That is why today I am signing our city's first ever executive order to protect workers from extreme temperatures.
Yeah. That's right. Very nice. That's right.
This executive order will launch a multilingual messaging campaign to protect workers from heat-related illness, require every city agencies to create heat illness prevention plans, direct DOB to review all heat-related construction safety requirements, compel DOHMH to analyze workers' comp claims, and strengthen reporting and data collection on worker heat illness. The EO also directs DOB to notify and remind both property owners and contractors of their obligation to report heat-related incidents during periods of extreme heat. Additionally, it directs agencies like DCWP to enforce rules like those that give food delivery workers the right to use bathrooms at restaurants for which they make deliveries. This executive order expands the scope of our extreme heat preparedness efforts to include the backbone of this city: working people. They deserve a government that understands their well-being as paramount to profit, one that fights for access to shade, rest, and water on the hottest days, and one that delivers on its conviction that every person, whether they work on the tarmac at JFK, sort packages in a warehouse, or write memos in an office, deserves to return home safe at the end of the day. I know this is a city full of people who love to spend their summer days outside. Wherever you are this summer, be it in the Rockaways, Orchard Beach, or Prospect Park, make sure you have water, make sure you are wearing sunscreen, and make sure you are looking out for your fellow New Yorkers. We ask you to stay hydrated, stay cool, and stay safe, New York, because in the immortal words of my friend Sean Francois,
Stay ready.
if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Thank you very much. And with that, I will pass it over to our Deputy Mayor for Economic Justice, Julie Su.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you so much, Mayor. It is officially summer in New York City. For millions of working New Yorkers, heat isn't just uncomfortable, it's hazardous. Extreme heat kills more Americans every year than hurricanes, floods, and tornadoes combined. And we know, because of climate change, it is only getting worse. The number of days above 90 degrees is projected to increase significantly in the years ahead. And despite all of this, extreme heat is still not recognized under federal law as a workplace hazard. No enforceable national standard, no guaranteed protections, workers on the clock, in the heat, with no clear legal right to shade, rest, or water, even though we know that those basic steps save lives. 2 years ago, when I led the U.S. Department of Labor, we worked to change that. We proposed the first nationwide standard to protect workers from the hazards of heat in history. But at that time, at the time that we left office, it wasn't finished. And the current federal administration has gutted worker protections, including putting the standard aside. So, New York City under Mayor Mamdani is acting.
Yes.
A few weeks ago, I sat down with workers right here at City Hall. Construction workers building our skyscrapers, delivery drivers racing to get packages and orders to their destination, baggage handlers on the tarmac at JFK and LaGuardia. And not just outdoor, but indoor workers too. In warehouses and kitchens, 95 degrees outside becomes 110 degrees inside. These workers, 120 degrees, thank you. These workers, many of them Black, Latino, and immigrant New Yorkers who make up the backbone of our workforce, all said the same thing. They can't stop for water when they have a quota to hit. They can't step into the shade, much less a cooling center, when they're on the clock. When they don't get breaks to stop and catch their breath and cool down, they have no choice but to power through. And that's when tragedy strikes. They feel faint, dizzy, exhausted. Many are rushed to the hospital. And what would actually help isn't complicated. Water, rest, shade. Knowing the signs of heat illness before it's too late. A plan in place before the temperature spikes, not after someone collapses. These basic protections are the difference between a worker who makes it home safe at the end of the day and one who doesn't. But the people who need these things the most are often those with the least power to ask for them and who bear the greatest risks when they do so. And that power imbalance is why we are acting today. To be clear, this is not just a question of fairness. It's not just about doing the right thing for workers. It's also about doing the smart thing for our economy. What this mayor and this administration knows is that what hurts workers also hurts our economy. Extreme heat means lower productivity, and that lost work capacity is projected to cost the global economy $2.4 trillion by 2030. So doing right by workers is actually good economic policy. So today, I'm asking employers in this city, do not wait for Washington, do not wait for tragedy to strike. The mayor isn't waiting. Today's executive order is about that, doing the work and leading by example. How each of us uses our power matters. The mayor knows this. Workers asked us to have their backs, and today we show that we do. Let's do this together. And our next speaker is someone who's led on this issue, Attorney General Tish James.
Thank you, Commissioner. I want to thank Mayor Mamdani for bringing us here together to focus on this most important issue, an issue involving environmental justice, an issue that these workers behind me have been talking about for years and years and years, and I truly want to thank him for his leadership. I also want to thank all of his administration. I want to thank the unions. They too have been focusing on this issue as well. And I really want to thank them. Because extreme heat is more than just being uncomfortable. Extreme heat is dangerous. Extreme heat kills. And in New York City, extreme heat contributes to hundreds of thousands of individuals who are hospitalized. And while every New Yorker feels hotter summers, workers often carry the greatest risk. Construction workers, airport workers, delivery workers, building service workers, and so many others who are in the sun, in high humidity, near heavy machinery, or in workplaces where heat becomes unbearable. And this is a matter, as I mentioned, of environmental justice, because workers of color and immigrant workers and low-wage workers are disproportionately represented in jobs most exposed to dangerous heat. And they are too often forced to choose between their paychecks and their health. And that is unacceptable. And that is why today's executive order that is going to be signed by the mayor shortly is so critically important. It will create a coordinated public information campaign, heat illness collaboration across city agencies, stronger construction safety review, better injury reporting, and closer examination of worker compensation claims, and most importantly, access to bathrooms. Can I get an amen? Amen. These are all practical steps that will save lives. And in the Office of the Attorney General, we have really been active on this issue. We have led multi-state coalitions, joining all of my colleagues across the nation, calling on OSHA to establish strong heat protections for indoor and outdoor workers. We've petitioned OSHA for emergency extreme heat standards, which right now are stalled. We've urged Congress to act, even an interim rule, while federal rulemaking continues, but in fact it is stalled. And we have supported efforts across our state to make workplaces safer and healthier. Worker protection cannot depend upon the forecast. It must be built into public policy. It reflects our values as a city and as a state. And today that is why our mayor is doing just that, focusing on the needs of New Yorkers, and particularly our workers who are oftentimes ignored. So to the workers of New York who basically built this city, those who have made our skyscrapers possible, you are the backbone of this great city. We care about you each and every day, and we need to demonstrate that, and today is a demonstration of that. We see you, we value you, and we will keep fighting to protect you. And we all know that one of the most underreported heat-related illnesses is heat stroke, which oftentimes results in death. And I will not sit idly by and allow these workers to die while I serve as the Attorney General. I stand with the Mayor of the City of New York, and we will do all that we can do to protect each and every one of you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Our next speaker works at LaGuardia Airport, John Mosquera.
Hello. You can hear me?
Yep.
How about them Knicks, man?
Knicks in 5.
Knicks in 5. Well, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
My name is John Mosquera. I have been working as a ramp agent at LaGuardia Airport for a company called Alliance Ground International, or more so AGI, for almost 2 years. I'm from the Bronx, and every day I spend about 2 hours commuting to work and about 2 hours to get home. Like so many airport workers, I make sacrifices just to show up and do my job. And I'm proud of the work I do. But I'm here today because no worker should have to ask themselves a simple question before starting their shift. Am I going to make it home safely? And unfortunately for airport workers like myself who work outside in extreme heat, that's a real question you have to ask. Last summer, during one of the hottest days of the year, I was working on the tarmac in about 100-degree weather. The tarmac, if nobody knows, it absorbs heat, and it was scorching that day. It's like you're working in an oven. I remember I was working inside the cargo hold of the plane, loading bags. Loading bags is hard work, and the bags are heavy, I'll tell you. But when you add in the extreme heat, it could feel overbearing. Working inside the cargo hold felt at least 10 degrees hotter, closer to 110 degrees. So you can imagine how uncomfortable it felt being inside. Suddenly, as I'm loading the bags, I start seeing spots. Like when you press on your eyelid too hard and you see stars. I lost consciousness and just laid in the belly of the plane from how hot it was. When I was woken up a few minutes later, I was struggling to catch my breath, was disoriented and felt scared, and my supervisor came in and asked if I was okay. When I told him I was okay, I had a short break and some water, and was sent right back to work. I finished my 10-hour shift that day. That should never happen. Nobody should collapse from heat on a job and then expect it to just keep going. What if I had been alone that day? What if I hadn't gained consciousness? I think about that every day now while I'm on the tarmac. And my story isn't the only one. In July 2024, during a crazy heat wave, my coworker, Garvey Barrett, spoke up and asked management for water. But instead of getting water, he got a suspension for 2 days. We risk our health working in dangerous temperatures, and when one of us speaks up for basic protections, we fear retaliation. That is not what safety looks like. That is not what respect looks like. Nobody should be punished for trying to keep themselves together and their coworkers safe. What scares me the most is that I'm one of the youngest ramp agents out there. Most of my coworkers are older than me. If I could pass out in the belly of a plane, what could happen to them? How many more of us have to get sick before employers take the heat seriously? How many of us have to collapse before we get real protection? How many warning signs have to be ignored before something worse happens? We are not asking for luxury. We're not asking for special treatment. We're asking for safety. We're asking for water, breaks from the heat, waves on the scorching tarmac, shade, and protection. We are asking for employers to take heat seriously, because at the end of the day, no bag moves without us, no flight leaves without us, no company makes a profit without us, but no... No company makes a profit without us, but no bag, no flight, and no company is worth a worker's life. We deserve dignity, we deserve protection, and we deserve to make it back home safely to our families every single day.
Amen, brother.
Thank you.
Amen, brother. Great job.
Thank you, John, for your work and for your story and for coming into City Hall to remind us of the urgency of what we're doing here today. Our next speaker is our NYSEM Commissioner, Christina Farrell.
Thank you. Good morning. At Emergency Management, we plan for every hazard this city faces. Year after year, as you've heard, the one that takes the most lives is heat. It works quietly, and it falls hardest on the New Yorkers who keep this city running through the summer in the heat, outdoors and indoors. That burden is not shared equally, and this order begins to address that. Protecting workers from heat takes a whole city. This order puts health, Department of Citywide Administrative Services, buildings, and agencies across government to work, alongside the unions and workers who know these conditions best. Emergency Management is proud to do our part. We will develop heat safety guidance and deliver it in the languages New Yorkers actually speak, keep the public informed through Notify NYC, and help every New Yorker make a plan, gather supplies, and stay informed before the heat arrives. That's why, just like the mayor, I strongly urge New Yorkers to sign up for Notify NYC by texting Notify NYC to 692-692. Today, with no enforceable heat standard for workers in place above us, New York City is choosing to lead. Our heat response has always stood ready for every New Yorker, because heat affects everyone, especially and including older adults and those with chronic health conditions and those who live alone. This order builds on our heat response with new targeted protections for the workers who are most exposed to it. To everyone who gets up each morning to build this city, feed it, and move it, this is a city that is working to keep you safe. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Commissioner. And our last speaker is DOHMH Commissioner Dr. Alistair Martin.
Let me get one more round of applause for my brother John for sharing his story. Powerful. Thank you, everybody, for joining us this morning, and thank you, Mayor Mamdani, for leading. Today is another example of the great work that you do every single day to make this city healthier, safer, and more affordable. The mayor's executive order puts working people first, because no one should have to risk their health in the heat trying to put food on the table or to pay their rent. Today's announcement also coincides with the release of the Health Department's annual heat mortality report, which is a sobering reminder of what's at stake. Our data shows that every single summer, approximately 500 New Yorkers die of heat-related causes. Most of those deaths happen quietly. The heart disease, the lung disease, other chronic conditions all worsened by the heat. It's why heat is called a silent killer. But for some New Yorkers, the threat from heat is direct. And workers are among the most exposed because they don't have a choice to stay inside. That is what this executive order begins to address. This executive order tasks the New York City Health Department with publishing guidelines for employers and for staff with outdoor work, who do outdoor work this season. And we are working with our sister agencies to get that guidance into the hands of workers and employers this summer, because guidance only saves lives when those people who need it have it. We will be conducting an analysis of workers' compensation claims to measure the real impact of heat on the job, because you cannot fix a problem you have not measured. And for next summer, my team is developing heat preparedness guidelines that cover all workers, indoors and outdoors, because heat doesn't stop at the door. But that is the work ahead. Right now, today, as temperatures rise, here's what every New Yorker needs to know. Heat can exacerbate underlying conditions, and heat stroke itself can be fatal. And the first thing you can do to protect yourself is learn to recognize the warning signs of heat stroke. The hallmark symptoms include things like hot or dry skin, confusion, unresponsiveness or loss of consciousness, nausea, vomiting. If you feel any of these symptoms, stop what you're doing and get help immediately. Call 911 or get to your nearest ER. But as the city's doctor, I want you to do one more thing for me. Don't just watch for these signs in yourself. Watch for them in the people around you. Check on your neighbors. Check on your parents and grandparents. Check on the elderly person down the hall who may live alone. Because in this city, the people most likely to die from heat are often the people least likely to ask for help. Your health is always our priority, but especially now as the summer temperatures rise. So at the New York City Health Department, we are committed to providing safe places to get out of the heat, especially in the communities most at risk. Just last week, for the first time, we opened our neighborhood health action centers as cooling centers in places like Brownsville, East Harlem, and Tremont in the Bronx, working alongside our New York City emergency management partners. All summer long, New Yorkers will be able to find reprieve from extreme heat and get connected to services at the same place. To find a cooling center near you, visit nyc.gov/beattheheat. Folks, we're in for a historic summer here in New York. Last week, right here at City Hall, the city celebrated its first Knicks championship in 53 years. The World Cup games are underway. And a certain notable celebrity's wedding is right around the corner. Sorry, Swifties. This is going to be a summer to remember. It's also going to be a hot one. Mayor Mamdani and our colleagues across city government are working to make sure New Yorkers can enjoy this summer safely, at home, at the game, and at work. But we need your help. I urge you to look out for each other, because the way this city gets through a hot summer, is the same way we celebrate a championship, together. Thank you.
Yeah.
We do have one last speaker, Deputy Mayor for Health and Human Services, Helen Arteaga.
Buenos dias, everyone. Good morning. Are we excited about the hot summer we're going to have? It's going to be an amazing summer, but we also want to make sure that New York City is safe. I'm very proud to be standing with these amazing city leaders behind me and our mayor here, we're literally taking actions first. I really want to thank Deputy Mayor Sue for putting this not only into action, but words, and making sure that we're making changes here in New York City. I want to make sure that this summer we're taking a whole person approach. We're ensuring that all New Yorkers get to enjoy the summer and staying safe and cool, but we're also making sure that our workers are making sure that they stay nice and safe. Thank you, John, for your story, and we're here to protect everyone. But make sure while you have your water, your sunscreen, you also have one of these to make sure that we're taking care of our neighbors, our co-workers, and
He's saving some for you up here.
Hey.